You can see a little bit of weather. This is hard whether you got slick roads to drive on. I don't know how this is going to work. Keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. So, that's how we switch over. But I'm going to take a little trip. Got to be real careful in this kind of weather. I got to turn my lights on. Well, I should be saying something, shouldn't I? I'm waiting for somebody to come on here. Just taking a short drive. I've got about 10 miles to go in this stuff that I thought I'd go visit a buddy. It's kind of weather for Eskimos and Malamutes, Huskies. Got a young friend getting a husky this week. She's a it's a young dog, but she's pretty fat. So he needs to work the fatness off her. We had a Malamute at one time that would pull my kids in the sled. I had a harness for him and would hook him up. I always had to have a leash on him because I was afraid he'd run off with the kids. But except when we sledded on the hill, he'd come up with me up the hill. We'd go, kids would slide down the hill. We'd hook up the sled. They'd climb on the sled, and the dog would pull them up the hill, and then he'd stay with me. But I'm looking at this weather here. Seems like people are out and about. Got a nice little snow falling, just beautiful. About an inch an hour, I suppose. It's started out with tiny flakes. The flakes have gotten a little bigger. But I hate stoplights. I don't know how people get through living in the cities with all the traffic and the stoplights. But we aren't going to be using a motorcycle in this kind of weather. I better turn on my heat. My windows are getting fogged up. Pretty little bridge. I was the first motorcycle to cross this bridge after they built it. And there's our river down below. And they're ice fishing out there. I see that they're catching some really nice crappie down there. I ought to do that. Get down there and do some ice fishing. There must be a hole right there. And I know there's another hole upriver from there that has some nice fish in it. Anyway, visibility is about a half mile, I suppose. I've already done a Facebook Live. I don't see anybody coming on. I've got nobody watching, nobody giving me a thumbs up yet. Hey, if you're watching, give me a thumbs up and recommend my channel to others. I may do some more music. Let me know what you'd like me to do. I might do some music in the near future. I might we'll talk a little bit about biking and motorcycle ministry. And we're headed out of town. And that must be a rural mail carrier in front of me. Got yellow flashing lights. And of course, since it's snowy, you got to pull out right in front of people because you want to test their brakes and see if they work. I just saw a car pull out in front of somebody in my rearview mirror. I mean, person was sliding on sideways on their brakes. Nice thing about this, we do have anti-lock brakes, and that's a good thing. Well, rural mail delivers headed out, and we will. Place I'm going is ways down. It's kind of in the holler. He's kind of sheltered, and I don't think there's going to be much issue with weather down there. We got a few miles to go yet, so, and I may get off this. I see a lot of people go for hours and hours on Facebook, on YouTube, and they say very little, and I'm working at that, saying very little. You know, what I have to say ain't worth saying. But we're having a nice little drive out here in the country, enjoying life. If you are watching this, why don't you type in and say howdy. Jamin's probably watching as he's wrenching on vehicles, tearing them apart. I see Randy Russell, his crew, or he's got a friend that's having an auction going on today, and frankly, if he didn't live so far away, I'd be there. A lot of Snap-on tools that are up for sale, and you can always use Snap-on tools. And if you can buy them at an auction, then you get them about 1/10 the price sometimes. So, but we're just we don't have wind going on yet. The plows have been out. The roads are about 50% snow and ice covered. I'd rather have the snow than the ice. Snow will give you a little bit of grit, a little bit of traction. Ice gives you none. If it gets way below zero, the snow actually has traction to it. It's got some grit to it, and you can go further. You can go through deeper snow the colder it is. Doesn't seem to make sense, but it does. I got a curve here that we're going around, and we're just taking it easy. I saw earlier Nitro was on watching my Facebook Live. Oh, that's all ice right there. And I'm only going about 40 miles an hour. Don't need to go much faster. I'm not going that far, and I don't know that I want to go past what I can control on this snow. And so I don't see any comments, so I may just be getting off here pretty quick. Just trying to, I don't know how to end this thing. I don't do very many YouTube lives. Usually when I do a YouTube, I upload a video that I've recorded. And I see one like, maybe. I don't have my glasses on, and so I see shapes and faces. I need glasses to read. There's a plow truck, and he's at the end of his route, it looks like, because he's turning around and coming back the other way. And this is kind of feeling slick here. I haven't slid, I haven't slipped, but you get that feeling in the seat of your pants that things aren't quite stable. I've got about 3-4 miles down and 3 or 4 miles to go. 5 miles to go, I don't know. I don't want to stay too long at my buddy's place and get snowed in. Might have to coffee and take it easy, snowplow And over there pushed into the ditch. Snow. I'm trying to find which side of the road to be on. I'm seeing lines, I'm seeing dashes. You know, people in the South don't quite understand this kind of weather. This is supposed to snow until early tomorrow morning. I'm looking at the radar and it appears, well, now we're 100% snowpack. It appears that we may end up with the snow ending about 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. But I don't mind driving in the snow. Probably ought to have both hands on the wheel. Oh, that's the side line of the road. I'm wondering what's that line? Like I say, I'm used to driving in the winter, enjoying driving in the winter. And now I've got to switch this and edit it to where it'll go public. I don't know why it goes private every time I try to do a live. But it does that. And I'm gonna, well, I only got like 2 more hills to climb to get where I want to go. Bunch of abandoned acreages around here. It's hard to see. A lot of families were raised in those acreages. I'm going to turn my heat down. I'm cooking. I'm dressed really warm. I've got a wool shirt on, and don't have polypropylenes on, but I got my heavy. It's a Justin coat. It's like a Carhartt, only heavier, and it's about worn out. So when I go looking for coats, I'll probably get a Carhartt. And meeting this feed truck, you don't see much. This pickup that I've got is a Honda Ridgeline. It's got all-wheel drive, and sometimes that is not a good thing. It can put you in the ditch as quick as 2-wheel drive. You just got to be careful with your throttle. Feather it a little bit. Don't be too heavy on it. We're out driving around. Got my Stormy Cromer ear flapper hat on. That keeps me warm as well. I got mittens and I've got gloves in there here, and I've got an extra coat. I carry a scoop shovel in the back end. Not a snow shovel, a grain scoop. I can move a whole lot of snow with a grain scoop. A lot more with a grain scoop than you can with a flat shovel. Flat shovels are made for sidewalks. Downside about a grain scoop is they got a short handle. But when this thing gets done, I'll crank up my blower, and it'll be cold, cold, cold when we blow snow. And that's a typical weather pattern here in Iowa. We get a good snow, and then the temperature drops through the bottom and just freezes you. So I may have another couple miles to go yet. So I got one like, at least somebody liking what I'm doing. And I got to figure out how to get this to go to public as soon as I get off here. There may be a button that I don't push that I should have. Buckeye is to my right. A little town called Buckeye. Makes me think of J-Man Rooney, who is from the Buckeye State. And so we're getting down here, and holler. Almost always see deer here in the summer at night when you're riding motorcycle through here. and it's kind of a sketchy area. My buddy that I'm going to visit, he's got a shooting range at his house, but I don't think we're going to be shooting today. And that's the center line that you hear that I'm riding on that's making that terrible sound. I don't want to move over too fast. Woods to the left is where I used to do a lot of deer hunting with my bow and arrow. Man, thick brush in there. I had a friend shot a deer back there. It took us an hour and a half to get it through the woods. Only about a quarter mile to carry it, but it was so thick. That same year, I shot one next to a bean field. It died right by the road. And I told him, you need to learn that lesson. That's how it's done. Well, I'm just about where I need to go. I'm going to shut this off and use 2 hands driving. You all have a blessed day.